Morning, everybody. Welcome to Unity of Stewart. Please stand and join us in our opening song, We're Unity. One, two, three, four.
Good morning, good morning. Please be seated. I mean, you could stand the whole service if you'd like, but it's probably more comfortable to be seated. Welcome to Unity of Stewart. Welcome to our Sunday morning celebration service. Welcome to all who are watching on YouTube and Facebook. Jess and Phil are watching on YouTube. Good morning, you two. Miss you. Come home, would you? And let's see who else is there. Lana, Cheryl, Pam, Ann, Tony, and Irma. Sylvia and Brenda and Beverly, generally speaking on YouTube. It's good to see you all this morning. And for those who are on Facebook, I can tell. Carlene, good morning, Carlene. Pamela, I haven't seen your name yet. Good morning, welcome. If this is your first time, feel free to come and get a welcome packet or to email us at admin@unityofstewart.org for a welcome packet. And let's see who else we have. Oh, Doreen is on her way home.
Oh, yeah.
She says, good morning. For those of you who may not know, Doreen is our co-music director. She said, I'll be listening to the service in the car while headed home. Miss you all. All right. And then we have Linda and Rogelio. And then Allison. Good morning, Allison. And Kathleen is listening from home, watching from home. Good morning. Good morning to you all. And we'd like to welcome people who are here for the first time. If you are in the sanctuary for the first time and you feel comfortable doing so, please raise your hands so that we can see you and give you a welcome packet. Rose is over here and Ricky's over here, and we have two new people right there. Welcome, glad you're here. In that form, there's information about our Unity Center. I think there's a little information about the larger movement. There is a prayer request form. You'll hear about that in a moment. There's also a form that if you fill it out and take it back to Robert at the welcome podium, that'll get you on our newsletter unless you expressly check the box that said, don't send me an email, and he'll give you a gift. So thanks for being here. And as I said, for those of you online, if you would like to receive a welcome packet, you can email us at admin@unityofstewart.org. And for anybody else who is in the room or online and you would just like a welcome packet because you haven't seen it in a while or you've never seen it, you can also email us at that same email address to receive a welcome packet by mail. And you all that are in here, they're on the table as you leave the sanctuary on the left. So we have some goodies in the kitchen, so let's everybody gather if you would like for some there's cookies and chips and some other stuff out there. So most importantly is that Unity of Stewards are welcoming, affirming, practical path of spirituality. Everyone is welcome here, no exceptions. And we have our boardie of the day. Today is Mary Claire, and she's in the back, and you'll see her picture there, although her hair is longer now. So that's Mary Claire. She's our boardie of the day. And what the board members do is they just kind of hold space, and they're available to help, to serve, to answer any questions that you may have. And if there's anything that you ask Mary Claire and she doesn't know the answer, which she's been here a very long time, so she probably will. If she doesn't, she'll find someone who can answer the question for you. Thanks, MC. And of course, we have chaplains on duty every Sunday. And what that simply looks like is we have chaplains on duty in the sanctuary after service to pray with you. If you have any prayer, request, intention, anything at all, a joy, a challenge, our prayer chaplains will be here in the sanctuary. You will know them by their white stoles. And today's prayer chaplains are Sue Michaud and Bertha McManus. So they'd be happy to pray with you. And of course, they hold your prayer intentions or requests in the highest confidence. So thanks. Thanks, prayer chaplains. Alternatively, or as well as, you can email us at prayer@unityofstewart.org. That actually comes straight to me, and I'll make sure your prayer gets in the prayer box. Or you can call our mothership, Silent Unity Prayer Line, and there's a number there if you would like to. That's 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for prayer intentions. A couple of things for the beginning of the service. We have our event, Scoop, there it is. And that's Ice Cream, Games, and Connection, and that's August 1st here at 6:30. You can see that adults are $10. This is like a mini fundraiser for us, and no one is turned away, however. And if you are coming, please, you're going to see me just today because we don't have anybody in the office this morning. If you'd like to buy a ticket, please do, so we know that this is actually happening. If you're certainly coming, please buy your ticket, today or next week for sure. And sponsorships are available. If you'd like to sponsor the budget of this, you can see me about that.
And it's Audrey's birthday.
Today is Audrey's birthday?
No, they have ice cream.
Oh, the day we have, so we can celebrate Audrey's birthday on August 1st. All right, thank you, Bertha.
Excellent.
And we are hosting a free intro to Qigong with Heisha Martyr, and she is a certified Qigong instructor, and this may morph into a class if people are interested. So that's August 3rd, that's a Sunday after the service at noon from 12:45, and that is free. Come and join us for that. I'll be there because I've never done Qigong, and I'd like to see how it works. Okay, so today I want to share, we're going to be talking about, maybe not all of those mystics today, depends on timing, but we're going to talk about some of the ancient wisdom and modern wisdom, actually, of mystics, and what has come down through the centuries, in a couple of cases up there, and through the years for us. The ancient wisdom of the mystics, how even though they're not, I don't think we recognize a lot of modern day mystics in our culture in these years, in these days. They're all around us. And not only are mystics all around us, they're right here in this room. We all have that capacity, and I'll talk more about that in the lesson, but we all have the capacity to have a mystical connection with spirit. And so please join me. And that's the good news. And the dedication today is indeed to all the ancient mystics and the mystics that walk among us today. So we light the candle, the Christ candle, every Sunday, and to remind us that that Christ consciousness that we talk about in unity is alive, and that divine light is in each one of us. And we ring the bowl every Sunday just to bring us to attention, to bring us to this now moment. And so in this now moment, we'll share today's reading. Mystics from every tradition have spoken the same essential truth. God is not far away. The divine does not need to be summoned. It only needs to be noticed. Hildegard of Bingen found God in the life force pulsing through all creation. Meister Eckhart taught that the same eye through which we see God is the eye through which God sees us. Charles Fillmore reminded us that we are not separate beings reaching toward God, but spiritual beings expressing God. What the mystics know, what they have always known, is that the path to the infinite begins not with belief, but with presence, with silence, with love. They teach not about a God to be understood, but a presence to be experienced. Today, I remember that this wisdom is not locked in books or buried in history. It is alive in me. I know God not through effort, but through stillness. I can touch divine love not by striving, but by softening. I pause. I breathe. I listen. And in that listening, I know. And so in this now moment of coming together in spiritual community, let us be open, receptive, and responsive to that mystery we call God, to the presence and power of the one that moves in and through each one of us. And we know that God lives, moves, and has its being in, through, and as each one of us. And so it is. Amen. And let's affirm our affirmation together. I remember the truth that God lives, moves, and has its being in, through, and as me. And let's take that deep breath to anchor in this affirmation. As we affirm one more time together. I remember the truth that God lives, moves, and has its being in, through, and as me. And so it is. Amen. Before we get ready for meditation, Rini's telling me, Mike, that the sounding might be a little low online. And Jerry is telling me, too, from home that he has his on full volume. So let's blast them out with this next song, shall we? All right, let us sing I Am One with God together. And we breathe deeply, consciously. I invite you into 3 of those deep, conscious breaths. Dropping our shoulders. Relaxing as fully as we can right where we are. And allowing that mystery we call God to be that mystery within us. And as we move into deep prayerful meditation. I invite you to feel the rhythm of your breath as it returns to its natural rhythm. And if you're comfortable, I invite you to close your eyes if you haven't already, and to place your hand on your heart. You can feel the beat, feel your chest rising and falling. And setting the intention to be here now, in this time, in this breath, in this holy space. And I invite you to say softly to yourself, be still. Be still. Be still and know. Be still and know. In this stillness, I invite you to let boundaries soften. Let anything that feels tense in mind or body to soften. Let the mind quiet and breathe. Be still and know. Let presence arise from within. Trying not to grasp, but to surrender. Surrendering to that one power, one presence. Be still and know. Be still and know. In the quiet. And as we have touched that mystical space, that current that's always flowing beneath the surface, I invite you to bring into your awareness all of those who are on our prayer list here at Unity of Stewart, and all those people, those things, those experiences that are in your mind and heart. I invite you to bring those into prayer as well, seeing each one lifted up into our awareness for wholeness, for healing, however it may come, and for deep love. And if you'd like to whisper names out into this space, I invite you to do that now. and turning all over into the care and keeping of the one presence, the one power. I invite you to join me in praying this in the name and the nature, in the light and love of the indwelling Christ consciousness. And so it is. Amen. And let's sing again. And as always, we have with us our Joyful Noise Band and Choir. And today's special music is offered by Audrey Noel. So let's welcome Audrey. Backed up by our small but mighty choir today.
We're going to bring the energy today, I think.
Yeah. This is called Spirit is in This Place. It's by Denise Rossier.
Right. All right, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4.
We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love, yeah. Spirit
Audrey.
It
So,
wasn't,
when,
it is now.
that's my next question. What do you think it means when we sing Spirit is in this place? What does that mean? Love is in this place. Energy is in this place. You're in this place. That's the only way Spirit shows up here, is when we show up here, when you show up here, in your love, in your compassion, in your energy, in your openness, in your joy. That's how Spirit works in and through us. So Spirit is in this place because we are in this place. So, today we'll look at what the mystics know, and the mystics know that Spirit is in this place. Spirit is everywhere we go. We're not always conscious of it, but it is indeed the truth. So once again, let's take a deep breath together, a deep conscious breath. This breath that says, I'm here, I'm open, receptive, and responsive to the Spirit that dwells within me and within each person, and indeed the Spirit that is in this room. Open, receptive, and responsive. You might wish to say this next one to yourself. Today, I am open to my own mysticism. Today, I am open to my own mysticism. So, the mystic's goal is not to believe things about God. It's to know that mystery we call God directly. So let me get that word God out of the way, because I talk about this most every Sunday. God is the word that we're all used to saying about that mystery that we really don't know, right? We only know it through our own connection with it. We can call it whatever we like. We can call it universal mind. We can call it source. We can call it divine mind. We can call it the divine infinite. Whatever way of describing that works for you is the word that you should use. For many, many years, I grew up Catholic. And for many, many years, when I heard the word God, after I had left that church and didn't find another church, and I heard the word God, I was like, ah! Right? I thought, well, that God that I was afraid of was punishing and unforgiving until I did something to please it, right? And it wasn't until I've been in this kind of teaching for decades that I started to really relax about that, because God is what I say it is. It's not what anybody, including me, says it is. To you, I mean. We each have our own ability to suss out what that thing that we call God means to each one of us. So, it's to know God directly, not secondhand, not from doctrine or dogma, not from the outer noise of religion, but from a deep knowing from inside. That's how we know God. So mystics in every tradition, whether it's Christian, Sufi, Hindu, Buddhist, indigenous, Jewish, unity, anyone that I left out, essentially say the same thing in different languages. That the mystery that we call God, universal mind or spirit or source, is not outside of us, which is what I just said. It is here. It is now. And it waits for us in stillness. It waits for us, that connection that I yearn for, that maybe you do too, comes in the stillness. Now, it doesn't stay in the stillness, but I recognize it, and perhaps you all do too. In the stillness, we just can sit in prayerful meditation like we did in our meditation and feel the stillness. That's spirit. And when we have that practice, then Spirit shows up wherever we are, and we can recognize it more readily in others and in situations in our lives. We can turn within any time and experience Spirit directly, because it's our birthright. Divine beings, that's our birthright. So, Our co-founders, Myrtle and Charles Fillmore, believed spiritual realization wasn't rare or reserved for saints. They believed it was natural. Charles wrote, "The time is ripe." This was in the late 1800s, mid to late 1800s. "The time is ripe for us to awake out of sleep, to shake off the illusions of the senses, and to know that we are centers of divine consciousness." And Myrtle Fillmore described moments of direct knowing when she prayed with people. She said she could feel their divine essence. And that essence, that Christ within, the infinite presence, is always available. So together they emphasize the power of our minds to co-create our lives with that mystery. That our mind is powerful. That when we spiritually practice, when we sit in silence, when we sit in prayer, we experience the reality of our oneness, which is the goal of every mystic, or the experience of every mystic, union with the divine, not as a future thing, but as a present reality. So let's look at some mystics. I don't know how many I'm going to get through. I think I might get through all of them. We'll see. And so look at what they know and how we can learn from that. So this is Teresa of Avila. She was in the, what's the 1500s? Is that the 14th century? 16th century, thank you. She was a Spanish Carmelite nun in the 16th century. She was a reformer and a theologian of the contemplative life. Her life was marked by visions, by prayer, and by deep surrender. Now, when she talked about deep surrender, she wasn't talking about giving up, like, oh, I give up, or being defeated about anything. She meant letting go from the inside out, releasing the need to control, to figure everything out, or to protect your ego. She didn't say it in those terms, I'm sure, but I'm telling you that's what she meant. So she wrote a couple of books, but in her book, The Interior Castle, she described the spiritual journey as moving through the inner rooms of the soul, going deeper and deeper. And as you go deeper, you begin to trust more and cling less. It's about letting go of an agenda and saying, all right, Spirit, lead the way. Even when the way feels uncertain and nothing makes sense. So here's what that looks like for me in a practical daily living kind of thing. It's like I know the things that I want in my life, right? I want everybody to be healthy. I want to have, money to play, to live, to give away. I want, things. And so what the surrender then means is to stand in those things that I want. We could even make a list of the things that we want. And then at the end, turn them over and say, this or something better. Now, I'm not sure what something better means. The only thing I know that it means for me is it's something better for me, for my journey. Whether that looks like a wonderful thing from the outer or it looks like suffering. Right? This or something better. Because what I know to be true about my life is that everything that comes to me is for my learning and growth. You've been around a while, you've heard growth. You've heard me say that many, many times. The way that I begin to live in peace in life is by saying, this is for me. So it's the surrender and not fighting against what's happening. Doesn't mean not taking steps to make things better or to heal or to help or whatever that is. But it's about, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to take steps. Pray and move your feet. I'm going to take steps and then release. Do what is mine to do and then release. And Teresa didn't think, I'm being very familiar with Teresa. Teresa didn't think it was a one and done deal. How many times a day do you find yourself surrendering? I should let that go. I need to let that go. Sometimes daily, sometimes hourly, sometimes minute by minute when we're in crisis. So the practice is releasing control so that there can be clarity. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm in control mode, I don't have clarity. I just want what I want, and I want to get it done, right, in the way that I think is best. So releasing control is about taking that breath and letting Spirit lead the way. One of her most well-known lines says this: "The important thing is not to think much, but to love much." It's not about getting it right. Surrender isn't about getting it right. It's about being available to Spirit, being available to love again and again and again. Even asking the question, in that availability, what is mine to do? And then waiting for that. That's Teresa of Avila. And then we have Hafiz, who was a 14th century Persian mystic and poet. And when we talk about love, he didn't think love was just an emotion. It was the essence of the divine, the fabric of reality. And I like that because I agree with it. That I think that that mystery we call God is essentially divine love in the world, the divine creative force of love. And so when I picture the world and I picture my place in it, my goal always is to let love lead. To let love lead, and I see our planet, I see our world wrapped in this light, in these ribbons of love. And then when I'm in despair over the state of the world, I see those ribbons and that light just moving in and moving around the world, in and through every being, every child, every animal, every plant, every tree. And that's how I think Hafiz sees love, and some of the other mystics. So it's the fabric of reality. So when he suffered, Hafiz, instead of shutting down or blaming life, he took it as a call to go inward and feel it, and really feel it, to break open and not to push away the suffering, and to activate love around it all. Not that soft, fluffy kind of love, but the fierce, cleansing, transformative love, letting Spirit move in and through him. And he talks about suffering. He says that suffering strips away anything false, he said. Ego, pride, illusions, all of it gets burned off. And what remains is a clearer connection with what he called the beloved, his name for God. So the pain didn't separate him from it, it brought him to it. So in the times in life when we suffer, or when I suffer, there have been times when I just wanted to push it away and to distract myself from the suffering, from the pain. When I got divorced about 7 years ago, I was suffering. I was suffering. And my first inclination was to distract myself from the suffering. So what I did, and I'm telling you that I did this for weeks, I laid on the couch in my TV room and I watched the show Say Yes to the Dress. You too? Yes to the dress? So I'm getting divorced now. I'm in the divorce process, and I'm laying on the couch watching people get married, get the family picking out the white dress and, ringing the bell. Weeks. And crying. So in a way, that was a distraction, and in a way, that allowed me to cry. Right? It allowed me to get closer to my pain and just feel it. Until one day I was like, okay, I'm done with that. I'm done with that. Right? So when we allow ourselves to feel what we're feeling, then it's a cleansing. It is, scientifically, when we cry, what's the hormone that gets released? Is it endorphins? What is it? It's good stuff. If you know, you got to speak up because. Where's Nancy? She's right there. Nancy is our in-house encyclopedia, in case you don't know. Anyway, so what I thought was a distraction was really a way in to a deeper feeling of the pain I was experiencing, and that helped. That helped. Hafiz, in one poem, writes, "Don't surrender your loneliness so quickly. Let it cut more deep. Let it ferment and season you until the sweet aroma of love rises from your soul." Now, he's not saying to seek out suffering. He's saying when it finds you, stay present to it. Stay present to it. Let it soften you. Because on the other side of that breaking is a deeper capacity to love and be loved. Now, I've had a fair amount of tragedy in my life. I won't go into it. And what I think about that tragedies that have happened in my life, it has brought me closer to spirit. It has opened up my mind and my heart. And you perhaps have heard the term the wounded healer. Now, I don't ever call myself a healer. I think we're all healers in that way. We're all conduits of spirit when we allow ourselves to be. And when we have suffering in our lives, when we go through things that if we're lucky and if we're present, it can bring us closer to God and closer to humanity, closer to others. Because we've been there. Yeah? We know what it feels like to be in pain. So stay present. Let it soften us. And we get a deeper capacity, not because of the pain, but because we're present to it and we move through it. Here's a full poem from Hafiz. "I sometimes forget that I was created for joy. My mind is too busy, my heart is too heavy for me to remember that I have been called to dance the sacred dance of life. I was created to smile, to love, to be lifted up, and to lift others up. O sacred one, untangle my feet from all that ensnares. Free my soul that we might dance, and that our dancing might be contagious." So that's Hafiz. And now we come to a modern mystic. This is Howard Thurman. He lived between 1899 and 1981. He was a theologian, an author, civil rights leader who grew up in the deeply segregated South. So he was a Christian mystic and a spiritual advisor to the Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King. And he said this: "There is in every person an inward sea, and in that sea there is an island. And on that island is an altar. And standing guard before that altar is the angel with the flaming sword. Nothing can get by that angel to be placed upon that altar unless it has the mark of your inner authority." So that's a roadmap. Metaphor, yes, roadmap. And so I'll go through it line by line. So in every person, there's an inward sea. We have a deeper life within. We have a deeper place that we are able to touch. It's a still sacred place that's untouched by the noise of the world. It's our original innocence, I believe. And in that sea, there is an island. Deep within your consciousness, there's a grounded center that sits in the center and knows that's our personal sanctuary. And on that island is an altar. And that center holds what is most sacred to us. It's where our deepest values, truths, and commitments live. Standing guard before that altar is the angel with the flaming sword. And that's that part of us, call it conscience, call it discernment, call it divine wisdom, that protects what enters that sacred center and doesn't allow everything in. And that's what we get to cultivate when we have spiritual practice, when we sit in the stillness and wait upon the mystery. Nothing can get by that angel to be placed upon that altar unless it has the mark of your inner authority. We get to decide what is worthy to take in. Not our culture, not tradition, not pressure, only what resonates deeply. And that's what I was talking about in the beginning when I said something about what God is. You decide what that is for you. You decide your personal theology. You decide what's worthy to come in, not what anybody else says, not what the culture says. What feels true at the deep core of the center belongs on that altar. So that's the mapping out I think Thurman did in this. It's the work of living with integrity. It's a reminder that our sacred center is ours to protect. That deep listening, not external approval, leads to the truth. Thank you, Howard. There's Hildegard of Bingen. I think I spelled her last name wrong on that slide. It's E-N. She lived 1098 to 1179. She was a Benedictine abbess, and that's her right in the middle with flames coming out of her head. That was depicting her visions. And this is from a book called, I don't know. I didn't write it down. This is from they say she wrote 2 books in the research that I did. And this is from a book where they say she directed these drawings. So she was in the room when these were happening, according to the historians. And she directed these drawings. So, again, a Benedictine abbess and mystic, she didn't just think outside the box. She lived, moved, and had her being outside the box. From a young age, she had visions that she called the living light, a direct encounter with the divine. And it showed up in words, in music, in art, and in full sensory experiences. Now, she's what's known as a polymath, and I had to look that up because I thought it had just something to do with math, but it didn't. It's having a great knowledge about a lot of things. Polymath. She saw God in everything, in plants and stars and animals and humans, and she had her own word for the life force running through creation, a Latin word, viriditas, which means the greening power of God that makes life flourish. Now, she composed music. I listened to it as I was preparing this talk, some chants, and she wrote it all down, and the music was still lovely. I was looking for study music as I was writing. Sometimes I just put headphones on, just listen to music to write by. And I said, wait a second, Hildegard has music, so I listened to that, and it's lovely. She also, which I didn't find any evidence for this that I'm going to share with you today, laid the foundation for a theology that honored the sacred feminine. And for Hildegard, her theology, the mystical path wasn't about escaping the world. It was about engaging it fully. The body, the mind, nature, and spirit were all having one conversation. And she listened. She listened with everything she had. Thank you, Hildegard. And then we have another, out of all these mystics, Amma is the only one that is still alive. I practiced her name so many times. Amritananda Amayi. Amritananda Mai. Also known as Amma, the hugging saint. That's what she was known as. I actually was in her company for a, whatever it was, a visitation by her in Albuquerque many, many, many years ago. And I got a hug. So she was born in 1953 in a fishing village in India, Kerala, India. And even as a child, she was devoted, deeply loving, they say, often slipping into spiritual states. I don't know if I like that word, slipping into spiritual states. And she wrote beautiful devotional songs. So millions of hugs and massive humanitarian work. And she has an organization called Embracing the World. And it's about disaster relief, homes for the poor, schools, hospitals, environmental projects, name it. She's spoken at the United Nations, always bringing the same message: compassion in action. Compassion in action. And so her core teachings are simple and powerful. She says, God isn't out there somewhere. God lives in us and is realized through love and devotion. We talked about this last week, every spiritual path can lead to the same truth. Many paths, one presence. Selfless service, seva, is a form of prayer. Pray and move your feet. Meditation, mantra, and prayer help clear the mind and open the heart. And maybe most importantly, compassion isn't an idea. It's something we live. Well, we can say, oh, I have compassion for that. But just like I say, we have to put feet to our prayers, we have to put feet to our compassion and feet to our love. That if something in the world that is happening that we feel compassion or even despair about, the certain cure for inner sadness about that is to do something about it, however little that might be, to do something about it. So her mysticism is down to earth. It's not a complicated theology. It's just unconditional love lived moment to moment in service. So all of these mystics, separated by geography, by religion, by gender, by culture, and yet they describe the same experience. In that oneness, we move in the world. In that love and compassion, we move in the world. And so they talk about that oneness like it's dissolving into something greater, and it is. And even that divinity that we carry within us, that is within us and all around us, we dissolve into that in the inward meditation process. We allow that to come out, to be at the forefront of who we are. So we merge with the divine. All right, we'll just leave Amma up there for the rest of this. And that's surrender, which is not a passive giving up, but an activity of letting go. Letting go of the ego, letting go of what we're grasping, and allowing Spirit to have its way in, through, and as us. Dropping the certainty. Said this last week, I don't know are three of the most powerful words in the English language. I don't know. And then silence. Silence. Every one of them emphasizes stillness, going within. Inner spaciousness, not just being quiet, but allowing an inner spaciousness. That is just waiting upon the mystery we call God. And joy. Not happiness. I'm not talking about doing things that make us happy, but the joy that comes from knowing who we are, where we come from, what we are made of, that divinity, that power, and that presence. A joy that can show up even in suffering because it's rooted in love. It's rooted in presence. I talked about this a few weeks ago, the micro joys in life. Even when we're suffering, we can still find joy in small things. And then, of course, compassion. These mystics don't stop at mountaintop experience. They're not on a mountaintop. They may do that sometimes, but that's not how they live. Real mysticism always involves coming down from the mountain and getting out into the world. So we don't need to convert anyone. We don't need to beat people over the head with this. We just see God in everything. And that changes how we live. And that changes how we show up in the world. And then we become a role model for that. So I created a handout with some ways to apply the wisdom of the mystics. I don't have time to go through that right now. But I invite you, if you'd like, to take one. They're out on I forget which table, but there are two tables on the right outside the sanctuary. It's on a purple sheet. So I'm going to leave you with this. The mystic's path isn't for special people. It's for all of us. It's for everyone We don't need visitations. We don't need visions. We just need to stop and to listen, to soften, and to love. That's the way in. We don't have to work our way back to anything. We just have to wake up to live in awakened awareness. The mystics aren't trying to get to heaven. They're trying to get here, in and around us. We all are. And when we know that, that spirit is in this place, because we are in this place, our lives begin to shine from the inside out. So, let's take a breath. And begin. And so it is. Amen. So yeah, remember, if you'd like to know some of the practices about the mystics, purple paper on the thing outside. And now it is time for our celebration of abundance, otherwise known as our love offering. And there are ways for you online that is underneath the video. If you'd like to donate to Unity of Stewart, give to Unity of Stewart to further this work that we do in this world, to further all of us role modeling what it's like to be the light of the light of the mystery in the world. Those are ways you can donate. And for those on YouTube, you can go to unityofstewart.org and click on donate. So thank you. Thank you for your continued love offerings, your gifts, your time, your talent. We appreciate all of you, and we bless these offerings knowing that they help transform the world. Let's affirm our prosperity, prayer, and our love offering blessing together. In a universe overflowing with the allness of God, all of the needs of Unity of Stewart and those we serve are instantly, constantly, and bountifully met. From every direction, known and unknown, expected and unexpected, our abundant good comes to us now. We are grateful. Amen. And our love offering blessing together. Divine love, as me, blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. I give and receive always in love. Let's sing about it. Amen and amen. And as we put feet to our prayers, we are inviting y'all to grab a list of grocery items from the table out there for the House of Hope summer food drive. Since the grants from the government are drying up, they're needing more help than ever. So if you'd like to get it's a little square list. And we'd just like to invite you to, and only because somebody did this, we'd like to invite you not to bring anything that has been opened or used, even if it's dog food or pet food of any kind. Just bring new things from the store if you can. And and no household items, just the items that are on the list. If you have household items that you'd like to bring to House of Hope, you can do that for sure. And that's that. And we're just collecting for the summer, and we're just they come and pick it up, and when we get a bunch, they come again. So the House of Hope. And then this forum we're having a week from today. This is, we're calling this When Policy Hurts People, a forum on immigration and human dignity. And what that will be about is there are going to be some people, some immigrants here that are going to tell their story and where they are in their emotions right now as all this is happening in our country. And then hopefully like a Q&A and some discussions about what common sense immigration, legal immigration looks like, and safe immigration looks like, because I can tell you right now, it doesn't look like what's happening now. So Sunday, July 20th, 3 p.m. right here in this room. So I invite you, if you can bring some refreshments for that, there's a sign-up sheet out there on the information table if you'd like to bring some refreshments for that. Scoop, there it is. Please buy tickets. And I don't know if we have any kiddos. I saw Ricky head that way. We are a small group today, so it's, you know, Jen wanted to come in and talk to you all anyway. John, would you go out there and make sure that Jen's coming in? She asked me if she could come in and talk to you all. Coffee House.
Coffee House.
August.
August 21st, I believe?
22nd.
22nd, thank you, Jen.
August 22nd, we, for those of you who are new, we have, most months, we won't have one probably in
It's been 2 months. It'll
Oh.
be 2 months break we took.
2 months. Oh, when you're just back in full force now?
June,
Okay.
June and July.
All right, so August 22nd, you don't see anybody? Okay, well, we'll soldier on. Oh, there she is. Dun, 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 dun. And not the witch song. This is Miss Jen. Were you lonely today? The mic?
So I wanted to let you guys know I am planning a family fun day to kick off the end of summer on August 10th, where I'm inviting all of my families that I've had over the last year to come and reinvigorate their kids in our program and kick off the new school year. I am asking for some love offerings if you're willing, $5 just to help out with some food costs. But we want to have a water play day and bounce house, and we're trying to make it a really fun activity for our families. It's the last day of summer, school starts the next day, so it'll be hard for some parents to I know, but I feel like it could be a really fun activity.
Date and time again, please.
August 10th, right after service. So, kids will be here, and then everything will be set up, and
So if somebody hasn't come this year and they want to bring a kiddo, but say somebody's new and they have kiddos and,
welcome to all.
yeah.
Personally, I would like to make it a growth opportunity and ask our families to invite a family. We'll have to work out some little liabilities, of course, all that legal stuff, but I envision it being an opportunity for us to grow our program.
All right, great.
I would
Thanks,
love
Jen.
to see that. And
So-
I'd like to invite Jensen Unity as well, or some of our.
For those of you who are online who did not hear that, because Jen's mic just came on a bit ago, say it again, please.
August 10th, right after service, 11:30, 12.
Kiddos, how old?
I mean, all ages, I
Okay,
think.
all right. Everybody's
All
welcome.
ages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, thank you.
Yeah. Thank
All
you,
right.
guys.
All right, even though there are no kiddos today, let us send out the energy of love to the kiddos by singing our youth blessing. We love you. We bless you. We truly, truly appreciate you. And we behold the Christ as you. All right, let's close with the prayer for protection and the peace song. Together, the light of God surrounds us. I am light. The love of God enfolds us. I am love. The power of God protects us. I am power. The presence of God watches over us. I am presence. Wherever I am, God is. I am divine. And so it is. Let's sing about it.